Hi everybody, Andrew Rice here. I have so many people ask me, Andrew, how do I shallow the shaft, shallow that club in transition so that I can get it coming down on the right plane? I want to get it coming down underneath my shoulder on the way down. What can I do to make that happen? And today I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of factors that you can work to implement into your golf swing, that you can keep an eye on in order to get that club shallowing out a little bit better. So I'm set up to the ball, I've got my grip, I've got my aim. You can tell I'm pretty much hitting towards these white flags out in front of me here. But what I'm going to look for, a couple of things. Firstly, I prefer to see this lead wrist fairly flat. If you're a professional golfer and you have a lot of cup in this wrist, there's a good chance that on the way down you're going from a cupped wrist to a flat or bowed wrist position on the way down. Most normal everyday golfers are going to have a hard time going from cup to flat on the way down. As a result, I would love to see everybody work towards getting this wrist flatter as they get up to the top. Okay, throughout the backswing and the downswing, let's just try to get it fairly flat. Okay, that's going to help us angle this club this way so that in the transition that shaft can stay fairly flat. The second factor that I look for in shallowing the club out in transition is where the club is pointing at the top of the backswing. I find that when this club gets across the line, as golf instructors tend to call it, as that club gets across the line, at some point early in the downswing, that shaft needs to be very vertical. Okay? Steep, I don't like to use that term, but it's going to initiate the downswing in a vertical or steep position. We can facilitate shallowing by getting the golf club to be a little laid off. The best feel for you to sense that is work towards keying in on where the butt end of the club is pointing. If I get to the top and my club's across the line, notice how the butt end of the club is pointing on this side of the camera. If I get it laid off, I'm pointing the butt end of the club to that side of the camera. So focus more on where the handle is pointing than where the shaft is angled. I find most golfers, when they try to lay it off, they tend to go in here, and as you can tell, that does anything but lay it off. So key more in on where the handle's pointing to lay the club off. That is factor number 2 to help you facilitate the shallowing of the shaft early in the downswing. Number 3, hand path, the direction the hands are traveling. And this is something you're going to need to feel really with your arms, elbows, and wrists. So you get the club up to the top, you're in a good position there, and we see this. And a lot of times, if you'll notice, the golfer is so set and intent on hitting from the inside. What they're actually trying to do, they're doing what they're trying to do, is they want to get these hands down and to the inside. And you can see what that does. If I keep the handle underneath the head, the shaft stays vertical in transition. However, if I can get the club in a sound position up top and have the handle travel that way, out ever so slightly, watch what happens to this club if I push the handle out. Can you see how it wants to lay down? That's exactly what we're looking for. So up to the top, and you can do a great little drill that I love. Very simple, nothing revolutionary about it at all, but just up to the top, almost like a 3/4 backswing position. Feel the hands traveling out, and you'll be able to see how I'm getting the shaft, the club head, to lay down a little bit. And you're going to go 1, 2, and then hit it on 3. Okay, so we're always looking for, and I find obviously there are exceptions to this rule. There are a few successful players who are able to get the shaft coming, starting the downswing this way. The vast majority of them get a little bit of that going on. So in order to get that into your downswing, that transition, we're going to look for a flat lead wrist. We're going to look for the butt end of the club to be pointed out somewhere in front of the player so that the shaft is a little laid off at the top. And then just the subtle sense, I don't want to overdo this, of the handle getting back out in that direction, because from there, now I can rotate hard and I can really clear my body through the hit. I can hit fades or draws from that position. Okay, so shallowing the club out, it's not an easy thing to do, but if you can get that lead wrist in a good position, get the handle pointing in an appropriate location at the top of the backswing, and initiate the downswing by getting the hands to actually travel just back out in front of you, those factors will all help to shallow the club. Hopefully you'll hit some better shots. If you do that properly, hope will be out of the equation. You will hit some better shots. Thanks for watching. Check back.